Welcome back to Carving Fairways. Today we're wrapping up our three-part look at Cedar Creek with the East Course here in Fairmont, Minnesota. Designed by Trevor Booney, this layout brings a more relaxed but still technical challenge to the table. With wooded fairways, a few sneaky elevation shifts, and a creek that's always lurking, it's a fun and thoughtful track that rewards smart play. Let's finish this series strong. We're kicking off Cedar Creek East with a short but technical challenge. Hole 1 is a 222-foot par 3 playing uphill through a wooded gap. While the distance might seem manageable, the elevation adds difficulty, requiring a clean release and enough power to clear the initial tunnel. Hole 2 is a 259-foot par 3, offering multiple shot shapes but no easy birdies. The most direct line is straight at the basket, but the low ceiling makes it a risky choice. Smooth forehand to the left or controlled backhand highs to the right, you can avoid the center trees. At 187 feet, hole 3 is a short par 3, giving players a great chance to keep the birdie train rolling. The fairway is wide open and allowing you to pick your preferred shot shape. Smooth turnover backhand or line drive with a forehand should set you up for a clean look at the basket. Hole 4 is a 341-foot par 3 with two distinct routes, making it a true test of decision making. The safer play is to go out and around, throwing a stable forehand that skips towards the green. The challenge is tough to get inside the circle without a perfect combo of skipping and rolling. For those feeling bold, the middle gap offers a risk versus reward line straight to the basket. If you thread the trees, you have a much cleaner birdie opportunity, but a bad kick could leave you scrambling. However you approach it, this hole demands precision and commitment. Hole 5 is a 259-foot par 3 that starts with a tight gap off the tee. You'll need to split the trees cleanly to reach the more open fairway beyond. The good news, once you're through, the green is inviting, with a large rock marking the area near the basket. Hole 6 is a 320-foot par 3 that forces you to focus on your line from the tee. The trees scattered throughout the fairway create natural obstacles, making shot selection crucial. Both backhand and forehand options are in play, but navigating cleanly through the gaps is key. If you land well, you'll have a long look at birdie. Hole 7 is a 267-foot par 3 that bends gently from left to right, shaping a natural line for a smooth forehand or turnover backhand. Fairway stays relatively open as long as you stay on the intended path. Hole 8 is a 227-foot par 3 that plays through a wooded corridor, demanding a controlled shot off the tee. The fairway starts relatively open but quickly tightens as you approach the green. With trees forcing you to commit to your chosen line, a well-placed shot will funnel toward the basket. Hole 9 is a 183-foot par 3 that plays steeply downhill, making its short distance a bit trickier than it looks. The elevation drop gives your disc extra glide, so touch and control are key. There's also a water hazard in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to shape your shot just to avoid an early swim. Now, full transparency, our footage for the full fly-through on this hole got corrupted, so we've only got to look from the basket back up the hill. Hole 10 is a 294-foot par 4 that starts with a steep uphill climb through a narrow, wooded tunnel. Off the tee, you'll need both power and accuracy to clear the initial gap. Any shot that fades too early could leave you struggling for position. Once you reach the top, the challenge isn't over. The fairway takes a hard dogleg left, forcing you to shape a precise second shot toward the basket. Hole 11 is a 447-foot par 4 and the first true open bomber on the course. Off the tee, you've got plenty of space to unleash a full power drive, but placement is just as important as distance. A well-placed shot will leave you in position for a clean approach, while an errant drive could leave you pinched off from the next gap through the trees. Hole 12 is a 206-foot par 3, playing downhill with a smooth hyzer line to the basket. The key here is controlling your angle and speed. Too much power and you could find yourself skipping long or fading into trouble. Hole 13 is a 351-foot par 3, playing mostly open with a few scattered trees to consider. Off the tee you've got room to shape your shot, but the key is distance control. Too much power and you could skip long and end up near the rough green. Hole 14 is a 284-foot par 3 and it's got a little bit of everything. A winding creek, a tightly wooded finish, and a chance for glory. Off the tee you'll need to blast something with enough fire to clear the water while still shaping left to give yourself a clean putt. This is one of those holes that can make or break your round. Hole 15 is a par 3 at 243 feet, a beautiful tree-lined fairway leading into a steep, punishing hillside where discs go to test their fate. Your shot needs to navigate the gaps cleanly before heading up the hill, where the basket sits in a precarious position, just waiting for an unfortunate rollaway. Hole 16 is a par 4 at 248 feet, but don't let this sign fool you. The 248 feet is a name only. From the tee, you're blind to a chaos ahead, a sharp left turn tucked behind the hillside, begging for a sneaky flex or an absolute smash that drifts and bends like a dream. But once you're around the corner, you're not quite done. You've got to thread a short but surgical upshot to a sloped green that's itching to roll your disc right back to the fairway. This hole feels more like 400 feet when you're standing on the tee wondering if you're about to park it or park yourself in Scramble City. Hole 17 is a par 3 at 294 feet. You've just got a little gap to clear off the tee. With a couple trees keeping you honest, if you thread it clean, you're looking at a smooth, flat landing zone and a real birdie opportunity. Hole 18 is a par 3 coming in at just 156 feet, and this one's got options. You can play it smart and sweep out left for an easy tap and par, or you can stare down the tunnel, thread the tight middle gap, and go for birdie. Last hole, so blast away and make it a good one. And that wraps up our run through of Cedar Creek East. From technical woods to open air bombs and everything in between, this course brings it all. Whether you're chasing birdies or just trying to stay clean, it's a track that'll test your whole game. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Carving Fairways for more disc golf course breakdowns. See you on the next one.